If you don't think that there is an active attempt to control what information is being seen by the masses, well then you're about to see something that is so unbelievably disturbing that you'll never forget it. In fact, this is something that you can experiment with on your own in about 30 seconds, and you'll see firsthand that there is something quite disturbing going on. Now, let me just jump into this so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. So here I am on Google, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to type in a controversial topic, which is, let's go with climate change, as this is something that is highly debated. And as you can see here at the top, we have about 6.68 billion results in a little more than half a second. So scroll to the bottom, and what we're going to do is we're just going to scroll all the way over to page 10, and notice that it still has 6.68 billion results. But what we're going to do is we're going to keep jumping forward as far as they'll let us go. And when you see what happens next, you're going to be quite surprised. So, okay, it goes to page 20, and then all of a sudden you have just 194 results. Where's the other 6 billion? Okay, here we go. In order to show you the most relevant results, we have omitted some entries very similar to the 194 displayed. If you like, you can repeat the search with the omitted results. Okay, let's do that. And as you can see, we have, again, 6.8 billion results in a little more than half a second. So bear with me as we continue this little exercise, as I assure you it will be worth the wait. So here we go, right past page 20, and again, notice, so here we are on page 22, still at 6.8 billion results. But let's just keep going, and unfortunately, it only lets us go about 4 or 5 pages at a time. But bear with me, because you'll see in just a moment what happens. We're already at page 38. And notice and by the way, we're still at 6.8 billion results. Notice that, because that detail is going to become quite important. And notice that we still have mainstream articles all the way back. BBC, Sky News, .edu, Royal Society, all these .orgs. These educational ones, Pew Research. All right, let's go to page 42. Still, notice 6.8 billion search results. So let's keep going. Whoa, okay, page 45, only 443 results. Well, let's go back to page 44 and see what happens. Again, 6.8 billion it's back to. And notice we got different books all about man-made climate change, and we're destroying the earth, and all mainstream articles, and some YouTube videos. But notice that when you go back to page 45, it just stops. So I know what you're thinking. Well, let's just try a different topic. I'm sure you'll recognize this day. Okay, we have 8.46 billion results in a half a second. Let's do the same thing all over again, and I'll be as quick as I can. Okay, look, it stops right there on page 2. Goes right down to 93 results. Okay, let's just deal with the omitted ones. And as you see, we're at about roughly the same amount, 8.35 billion. And let's repeat the same exercise. I'll go as quickly as I can. I know this is a little tedious, but this is something that you'll quickly be able to do yourself on your desktop, and you'll be able to see firsthand just how disturbing this gets. And if you're thinking that this is because we are doing, controversial topics, and in the age of disinformation and conspiracies, dangerous conspiracies, perhaps there is some sort of limiting of information. But hang that thought, because this is going to become far more interesting in just a second, and especially to those of you that think this is a Google issue. So here we are, page 44, and same thing happens, down to just a few hundred other results. And as you see, we're on mainstream articles, NPR, Politico. I mean, let's see here. So just go back to page 43 so you see that it's the same thing happening all over again. Okay, it is. So let's just type in something completely benign. I don't know. What's the first benign word that comes to my mind? Let's do pancakes, which I don't eat, and you shouldn't either. You'll die early if you do. They're terrible for you. But here we go. 399 million results. Okay. There's nothing controversial or conspiratorial about pancakes. You can choose whatever word you want, but notice that we will again encounter the same issue where it will try to limit our results based on Well, hold on, hang on a second here. Now it's going to do it, I believe. So here we are, page 23, 220 results. But again, the same thing happens, right? So, okay, no big deal. Let's just go through the motions again. We're still at 399 million results. And bear with me, this will only take a couple seconds. I'll scroll as fast as I can because you need to see firsthand exactly what happens with your own eyes so you can understand that there is something happening on all the major search engine platforms to control information to the masses. And again, like I was just saying, this is not just a Google thing, because bear with me, I'm going to show you the next largest search engine in just a moment, and I want to show you how far this goes in. Okay, we're at page 34, still 399 million. It's only take another second. And if some of you are thinking that, okay, I see where he's going with this, it limits itself once it gets to about 4 dozen or, all right, hold on. Here we go. 42, page 42, 415 results. And like I was just saying, if some people are going to say, well, you know, who scrolls 40 pages in? Not many people. But I can tell you that here's an interesting fact that on page 1, down to the 10th result, only 2.5 people, or 2.5% of people click that far. But okay, so here we go again. Pancakes just drops off the face of the planet on page 42, 415 results. Guys, I don't know when this started happening, but it was not always like this. I remember vaguely remembering seeing people make videos about certain topics and going a few hundred pages, even a couple thousand pages into Google to see what comes up. There was pages still there and information to be found. It wasn't always like this. I do not know when this went into effect, but something happened here. Now, like I was just saying, this is not just limited to Google. So let me go to Bing, which is garbage. I don't use them. But let's just do the same thing all over again. All right, so we got 2.9 billion results. And as you can see, it doesn't let us click as far in. But bear with me, this will only take a second. And let's see here. It dropped down to 1.3 billion results, but that's okay. I'm not going to complain. 1 billion results is more than I can entertain. But wait for it. Wait, what happened? What? What's this? Let's go back. So we were on page 13. And then when you go to page 15, donezo. So let's go to page 14. Okay, so we're on 175 through 185 results out of 1.3 billion. As you can see, we got various articles showing up here, some YouTube videos, some .edus, and it just goes away, guys. Gone. Here, let's do pancakes over here just so you can understand. Oh, I spelt it wrong, but that's okay. We'll have it fix it for us. Okay, it doesn't say how many results there are, but it'll show us on the next click over. All right, so 77 million results on pancakes. Let's keep going as fast as I can. And I know this is a little tedious, but it is worth it so you can understand exactly what's happening here. So, wow. Okay, so what page was that? I wasn't even looking. Same thing. Page 15, 13 to 15. 14 works. As you can see, you got some wonderful articles on pancakes. So, okay. Let me show you a few things here. First of all, where I had heard of this was from a friend that sent me this wonderful YouTube video channel called Truth Stream Media, and I've been following them for a while, and they had made a video on this that I was not aware of, which is, find it right here. Hold on. Okay, so here we are. Forgive me. So where did the internet go? You need to watch this video. It covers the same thing I just did, but in far more depth. And as you can see, it's got 100,000 views, but this is 3 months ago. And this should have way more views. And this wonderful channel creator, she makes outstanding content. And it's funny, as I was looking through, I'm like, where have I seen this channel? It's been a while since I've seen their videos. And when I clicked on most popular, which is what was open, wow. If you saw my recent video on the ancient conspiracy involving the destruction of Iraq, you would notice I played a clip of this. However, the clip I showed you was from a little channel that has like only a few hundred views, because when I was trying to search this into YouTube, I could hardly find anything. And then all of a sudden, this video with 13 million views made 7 years ago was buried and beyond any type of way of me finding it. See, this is another example. Even though I wasn't Google searching this or doing on Bing or anywhere else, even YouTube itself is burying things, because you got to keep in mind, that Google and YouTube is the same company, owned by Alphabet. Bing is Microsoft. And I don't know exactly when it started. It was a year to 2 years ago or so, where the YouTube recommended videos that show up in the queue based on whatever topic you're looking at has changed drastically and for the worst. So YouTube announced that they were going to crack down on conspiracies and dangerous content and all that stuff and keep people from going down these dangerous rabbit holes, right? But I've talked to many people about this, and it's only gotten worse. They start recommending videos that have nothing to do with the topic, and it's pretty much just bores the hell out of you. Like, you just give up. In other words, what they're doing is that if you are not specifically looking for certain information, whether it's typing in on Google or YouTube or anywhere else, you're not going to find it. And I know what some people are going to say, like I mentioned a moment ago, well, you're not scrolling 40 pages in. Well, it doesn't matter because they're just keeping you in a little Truman Show box. And go watch that Truth Stream Media channel and video because they make an interesting argument about that, which is that they're just keeping us all in a little box here, guys. You have your, like, say in the case of the climate change, people are saying, yes, us humans are destroying it, and you have other people saying it's natural, but they keep each party, because you're wondering, like, how can people be so divided on this topic? Well, anything that they're searching, guys, are keeping them in their own little hole of, like, thinking that they're right, and these people over here in their little hole thinking that they're right. So this channel that I was telling you about, Truth Stream Media, they make an outstanding argument, which is that back in the early days of the internet, it was like the Wild West, but in a good way. And that if you search something in and you type in exact words, it would come up. But now you have to be very, very specific, otherwise you'll never find a different point of view. So I was born in 1984, so I'm 38. And I was high school class of 2002. So these were like the pioneer days of the internet. I mean, I remember when AOL was a thing, Alta Vista, Yahoo was like, I mean, Yahoo's still around, but it's, who uses Yahoo? But anyways, and guys, I can tell you, and other people that are similar to my age know exactly what I'm talking about, that things have changed so dramatically in the last, let's say, handful of years or so, where the controlling of information has increased so greatly that it is ruining it. And I know what some people are going to say because they're not aware of why the freedom of speech is so important, but they'll say, well, yeah, we got to stop dangerous ideas and conspiracies from going around. I got news for you. For the last several decades, there's been conspiracies and everything was fine. The world went around and round in a circle in a wonderful way, and people had access to all the information they need, and everything was fine. And all of a sudden, people are pretending like there's this issue involving freedom of speech and that, like, trying to convince you that it's not a good thing. The only thing dangerous, there's nothing dangerous about sharing ideas and discussing things. The only thing dangerous is withholding information from you that it provides you from having a complete and total perspective on what the truth may be. If there was nothing, if this was totally benign, there would be no reason to hide the truth from people. So that being said, I've shared what I wanted to share. Experiment with this on your own. I highly recommend that you share this with everyone you know, because everyone you know uses the internet, so this applies to everyone. And the implications of this are significant. This is just one little way of people being able to see that, maybe there is something going on involving the sharing of information to the masses. So with that said, I'm going to close this up. My name is Jimmy Corsetti, and my channel is called Bright Insight. Leave a comment and share what your thoughts are on all of this. And hit the like button and subscribe as well. Like I mentioned in my prior video, I'm working on my next video on Atlantis, which I'm quite excited about. But once I saw this, this is all I could think about. This is something that has to be shared immediately because this is something that everyone needs to know about. So all of that said, I'll close it up. Share your thoughts on all of this and share it with other people. But that said, my name is Jimmy. Stay tuned for my next video. Take care, everybody.